Shoulders.
Yeah, I could use that too.
Okay. All right. Let's start out on elbows and knees. Knees are going to be about as wide as your mat. Elbows on the floor. Keeping the knees wide. The tops of the feet are flat on the floor. Heels in a little bit. Good. And then elbows pretty wide. Definitely wider than chest and shoulders. And then elbows are further forward than your shoulders. Knees are a little behind hips. You're going to shift your weight a touch forward, but then bring the shoulders back away from the ears and try to dip the ribs and the belly down in between the hips and the shoulders. So you're letting the whole middle hang. You're not arching it, you're actually just letting it hang there. Let the head drop. Inhale long and even. As you exhale, push into your hands a little bit. Feel like you're pulling your elbows apart on the mat. Mat horizontally spreading wide and lift your ribs up into the shoulder girdle. Then suck the low belly in, pull knees in toward each other to lift your low belly higher. Pelvic bowl will lift now. Good. And then release the pelvic bowl, let it drop, let ribs drop, slide the shoulder blades together on the back. Do that again. Push down through elbows, spread the shoulder blades apart, bring the ribs up, suck your low belly in. Knees hug in on the mat, heels hug in, elbows hug in to engage chest more. Drop your head, really engaged in your core, suck up. Inhale again here, stay this engaged. Exhale, heels in, knees in, elbows hugging in, core sucking up higher. And then release, pubic bone back, pelvic bowl hang to a 10, shoulders slide together on the back, keep the head dropping. One more, move with the breath. Inhale, open the back of the ribs, slide the shoulder blades apart. Exhale, stay up here, close front ribs, lift low belly, knees hug in, elbows hug in. And then release, drop all the way back down. Inhale, slide shoulders apart, ribs come up. Exhale, suck the low belly and ribs up, elbows hug in, knees in, heels in, engage core. And then release, drop it back down. Good. Walk your elbows back a little bit and then sit back all the way between the legs. The wide legs, wide leg child pose here, basically with arms forward. Put your forehead on the mat. Find your breath here. Inhale. As you exhale, close your ribs. Just keep exhaling until you start feeling your front ribs close. Suck your low belly up. Think knees hug in and curl your toes up like you're trying to lift the toes up off the mat. And then let all that go. Let the belly drop back down. Let's do that one more time. Forehead pressing into the mat. Lats wrapping down. Elbows pressing into the mat. Inhale, toes pressing into the mat. Exhale, close your ribs. Pick the ribs up into the back of the body. Pick your toes up off the mat if you can. Low belly sucks up, knees hug in, elbows hug in. And then release all of that. So the baby ones of what we did a minute ago. Last one like that. Inhale, ribs up. Exhale, close your ribs. Toes lift, elbows hug in, knees hug in. And then release. Bring the head up. Walk your elbows back. All the way under the shoulders. Keep the knees as wide as you can get in this time. So if you want to bring them off the mat, you can. Knees taps to the knees, grab calf. Stay this far back. Use your elbows to control the movement of the ribs. Move your ribs over to the left. Think of your ribs coming to the left groin and the right hip rolling forward a little. And then bring it back through center. Move your ribs over to the right. And then just go back and forth, moving the rib cage back and forth. Let's hold on the left side. Once you're left, push down through elbows, pick ribs up, pick low belly up, and then drop back down, hang through the middle, bring it right. Push your elbows, pick ribs up, pick low belly up, and then hang through the middle. Walk your elbows forward. Pull back with your lats and serratus, the muscles underneath the arms. Bring the shoulders back. Your body's pretty well over the elbows. Slide your knees wider towards frog. Feet out to the sides. You're going to shift your weight forward, bring the shoulders forward more, suck the ribs up into the back of the body. Low belly draws the pubic bone forward, drop your head. It's like you're really shifting weight forward. Then you're going to sit back just an inch or two and then unwind that. Roll pubic bone back, belly to the mat, ribs down. Good. If it's too much for you to do this without any support, you can use a bolster, long ways under the belly or a ball. Okay, come forward again, shoulders past elbows. Then shoulders slide forward, hollow collarbone. Pick your ribs up by pushing into the forearms, lots of weight in upper body. Low belly sucks in to bring pubic bone forward. Sit back an inch or two, deepen your stretch, and you should feel right here as you roll the pubic bone back, belly drops, ribs drop deeper. Good. Come forward, pick up your ribs, bring your feet in, and hop the knees back in. Good. Tuck your toes, knees almost touch, or knees touching, inner feet touching. Good. Walk it up to your hands. Lift the knee. You're going to walk one knee back at a time. Don't let your toes slide so that you get a bigger stretch in the foot as you walk the knees back. Feet stay stuck. And then sit your hips back into that foot stretch. Okay. You can use your hands to push you back there a little bit. And let's stretch hands while we're here. Flip hands backwards. Spread across the fingers. And the further forward the hand, the bigger the stretch. Put a soft bend in your elbows. Shoulders open, drop your head, let your chest drop through the shoulder blades. Shoulder blades come together. Thoracic spine dropping as your shoulders release, chest release, and your shoulder blades slide together in the back of the body. As you inhale, keep weighting the knuckles of the hands, keep elbows bent. Pushing down through hands, feel your shoulder blades slide open and the ribs slide back through the shoulder girdle. Suck the low belly back. Keep it going forward, tail to another. Push into your toes a little bit to suck your low belly higher, let your head drop. Start going back the other way by releasing the upper body. Let your head hang, shoulders slide together, ribs open, belly releases, pelvic bowl hangs forward. Do it again. Initiate the movement from hands, even though they're stretching. They don't want to take the weight. Bend elbows, feel the lats and the serratus, the muscles underneath the arm, and then push into hands, ribs start coming back, then suck your middle abs back, head dropping, low belly pulling. Toes push into the mat a little to activate feet, suck your low belly more. Start coming forward by releasing the core a little, drop the head forward, let your shoulders slide together, ribs open. Let the core get longer, open, and just soft. Good. Bend the right elbow back, try to keep the muscles underneath that armpit, underneath the shoulder. Side of the ribs engaged, roll back on the hand, and roll it back forward. Left side, roll back, time to hold in the hips, keep it released, and then roll back forward. Roll the right hand back, slide it forward, bending fingers back. Maybe you can bring elbows toward the mat, just let it hang out of the chest and shoulder anyway. Roll forward further into the stretch if you've got it, and then roll back, come onto knuckles. Left hand, roll it back, slide it out in front. Now you're stretching the hand more than the wrist. Bend the fingers back, elbow low. Roll through the hand. Roll it all the way back and come to knuckles. Good. Keep knuckles pretty much in a straight parallel line with the line the knees make. So just in front of the knees. Push into the knuckles, bring your ribs back. So shoulder blades spreading. Suck the belly back. Knees hugging. Inner feet touch. Pick the knees up into that space you just made in your chest. Good. Think of lifting toes up and spreading them out. Activate the feet, inner feet touching. And then coming back forward, knees are going to hover right above the mat. Don't let them touch. Drop chest into shoulder girdle without the knees touching. And then bring the ribs back again. Bring the knees back in. Suck your low belly back. Okay. Keep the fists out in front. Last one. Knees come toward the mat. Don't let them touch. Drop the chest into the shoulder girdle. Bring the ribs back again. And bring the knees back. Very nice. Tense your fingers right about where you think the knees would touch the ground if they came forward. Hug elbows in a little. Drop your head and neck. Keep the heel or the inner feet touching. So really try to lift the outside of the foot, the pinky side of the foot up. Get the inner feet to touch. Heels come high. Hips drop forward a little. Shoulders and knees kind of stay glued to each other. And then just working the feet, drop it back. Chest and knees come down. Heels go back. Hips go back. Do it again. Inner feet touching. Toes are active. Grabbing the mat. Hips come forward. Help you push heels forward. Knees high. Suck the low belly back. And then drop it back. Heels back. Hips back. Knees down. Shoulders hanging over up. One more. Heels high. Hips under. And then heels back. Hips back. Good. Once you're down, bring the body inside the legs. Open the knees. Good. Elbows hug in a little bit. That's it. Try to keep the inner feet touching. See how far forward you can reach. Don't go too far because you'll fall forward. Counterbalancing, hips going back. So you're trying to let your hips drop back. Hands are just holding onto the floor. You should feel your low back open. Heels don't have to touch the mat. Drop your head through your arms. Breathe. As you exhale, suck your low belly back more. And then tip back forward. Come on up. Good. Walk your hands forward. Knees come close to the mat. Try not to let them touch. Lift the hips up and back. Okay. Roll high onto the right toes. Come to the tips of the toes. And then curl your toes under. Heel back. Okay, and then roll back. Come high onto the left toes, come to the tips of the toes, roll the toes under, go back, and then roll it up. Good, and come back down to the knees. How are we doing? Good. As we keep warmed up, let's come down to elbows. Elbows are pretty far out in front of you here. Okay. And knees pretty far back. Keep the toes tucked, feet are active, we just woke them up, so now we're going to use them. Elbows should be a little bit less than shoulder width apart. I'm purposely trying to get you to engage your pecs right now. I want you to press down through elbows, pick your ribs up, then bring the ribs back out of the shoulder girdle, then reach the hips back. Good, so sitting bones are up. Now keep it that far back out of the shoulder girdle. For you, keep your ribs engaged a little bit. Push into the feet to bring the hips up. Good, dolphin. Now you can walk the feet in a little bit if you want to bring heels closer to the mat. If that makes you tuck your hips and come forward, no good. Ribs keep reaching back, sitting bones up, bend the knees a little bit. Drop your right heel toward the mat, inner spiral the right leg. Really roll to that inner foot, and then switch. Drop the left heel toward the mat, and then switch. Let the hips move. Let your ribs move back and forth through the shoulder girdle a little bit too. When your right hip is back, let your left hip drop forward, and vice versa. One more each side. Okay, both heels reaching down, but then bend knees, sitting bones up. Push through elbows to lift ribs up and back out of the shoulder girdle, and then bend the knees back down to the mat. Sit all the way back. Walk your elbows back. Keep your toes tucked and put your forehead on the mat right in front of the knees. Okay. Reach back for your heels if you can touch them. If you can't reach the heels, you can just reach for the backs of the legs. You can reach the heels, hold heels, let your shoulders round forward, tuck your chin in, come more to the top of the head on the mat. Then you're going to roll forward, keep holding heels, let your chest hollow so the shoulder heads roll down, suck your ribs up to the ceiling, reach your heels back into your hands, maybe tucking the chin in a little bit further. Think of the ribs as going up, not forward. Inhale, hug your knees in, inner feet in, heels reaching back, low belly sucking up. And then sit all the way back. Okay, one more time like that. Press into the toes a little bit. Suck your low belly up. Let your elbows drop forward. Shoulder heads drop forward. Inhale. Exhale. Press into the feet. Sucking low belly up. Ribs in the body. Spreading the shoulder blades off the back. Chin in. And then sit all the way back. Keep the head there. Reach your arms way out in front of you. Your chin is tucked in. You're on the top of the head. Hands as wide as the mat. Inner feet touching. Okay, you're going to inchworm your hand. So if you're not sure what that means, look up here. The base of the hand comes to the fingers, and then the fingers go forward. Keep doing that until you roll all the way into your neck stretch. My hair's in the way, of course. Roll all the way to the back of the head. Get your hands planted as far as you can reach them. Basically using the mat to get the arms behind the level of the head, or using the ground. Once hands are planted, let your hips drop back. Get long in your core again. And then slowly roll all the way out of the stretch. Good, hands kind of slide unwillingly on the mat. Let's do that again. Keep weight in the head, inchworm the hands forward, roll as far as you can toward the back of the head, don't overdo it. This is the next stretch. Okay, once the hands are as far as you can reach, plant them. Then let your hips release, don't tuck. Breathe, stay there. Shoulders can pull back a little bit. More breath. And then slowly roll back out of that stretch. Good. Bring your hands back, interlace fingers right at the sacrum. Let your shoulders roll forward. If you feel secure in the head, we're going to do it again without hands. Roll toward the top of the head, chin in. Lift the hands up and back. Drop your arms forward, shoulder heads forward. Low belly sucking up, ribs up. How are we doing? Breathe. Inner feet touch. Groin muscles hug in to help lift your low belly. Good. Now roll shoulders back, chin in. Hands start coming back to the hips. Suck palms together. Roll all the way back. Good. Hands to the mat. Bring your head up. Look straight at the ground. Just regain your focus. Regain your center. How are we doing? Okay. Feel the neck stretch. Bend in for back. Okay. Walk the elbows forward again. Elbows flat on the mat. Try to keep your elbows pretty far in front of your hips. Okay. Okay, drop into your shoulder girdle, shoulder blades come together. Look straight at the ground between the elbows. Keep looking straight down. Bring your ribs back by pushing elbows forward, pushing that forward. Hips will drop back too. Feel how your shoulder blades slide up the side of the ribs, then come back forward. Shoulders coming back. Okay? Come back forward. Just practice that movement because you want to be able to do it in the air. Do it again. Ribs suck up a little bit. Bring the shoulder blades up the side of the ribs. And then come forward, shoulders opening, chest opening to slide down away from the ears. Good. Feel that movement here? Yep. Do it again. Slide the shoulder blades up the side of the ribs. Ribs can suck up a little bit. That's one way to find it. And then pull shoulders wide, pull it back. Okay, good. Let's try it this way. Pick your ribs up by pushing down through elbows. Think of your shoulder heads coming a little forward, hollow collarbone. Pick it up higher. Then take hips back, ribs back, so you're out of the shoulder blades. Then push through feet, lift the hips up and back. Let's exaggerate the upper back bend for now. Let your ribs still open. Let your core open more. Bend the knees, sitting bones high. Breathe. Now dropping left heel, ribs reach back more. Good. Then drop right heel, ribs reach back more. Good. Now both heels reaching back, ribs back. Now push through elbows, pick the ribs up, but don't tuck the hips. Good. And see if you can wiggle feet back a little bit. Shift your weight forward into a forearm plank. Ribs high. Push down through elbows. And then drop down. If you need to come to your knees, you can. Ribs high. Drop back down. One more. Pick up the ribs. Put the knees down. Sit back like that. Stretch the ribs back out of the arms. Good. Tuck to the feet on the mat. Walk your elbows back. Sit all the way back into child's pose. Forehead on the mat. Breathe. How are we doing? All good? Mm-hmm. One more breath here. Bring the arms back behind you. Roll your shoulders toward the mat. No arms this time. Open your toes into the mat so you're pushing down with the tops of the toes into the mat real soft. Heels hug in, low belly sunks in. Roll heavy on your head. Inch by inch to the top of the head. When you're all the way forward, let your chest drop forward. Your collarbone is kind of eating your jaw at first. And then lift the shoulders up and back, opening the neck more, chin in. Do it again. Let the chest drop forward, suck ribs up. Then lift shoulders up and back, chin in, feel that neck stretch. Slowly roll back, hips reach back. Roll all the way out of it. Get hands come to the floor. Bring the head back up. How are we doing?
Yeah.
Busy? All right, bring it forward. Okay, and then we're going to grab the locks now. Come to a couple standing postures.
That hurts the top of my head.
The top of your head?
Yeah.
The pressure or the stretch?
I think the pressure.
The pressure?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see how you're doing it. Do it one more time. The top of the head. Put your forehead into the mat. You can either tuck toes or the tops of the feet down.
Okay.
Good. Roll forward. Okay. So if you want, you can bring, instead of doing it with your just the head, you can bring your elbows next to you as wide as the mat. When you roll forward, keep the elbows in the mat, hands stay there, take some of the pressure, and shoulders lift up.
Okay, that's probably better.
Alright, so let's just try that, see if it makes a difference. Everybody keep the toes tucked, sit back on the heels, knees hugging in. Yeah, so all the other ways are a little more intense. This is the way we used to do it, right? So you're going to put your head down. Elbows are about as wide as your mat. You should be able to see your elbows in your peripheral vision. And then pressing into the knees and feet a little, suck your low belly and roll forward to the top of the head. The hands can put on the brakes a little bit. Lift your shoulders up away from the ears. Suck the ribs up and feel your hands take some of the weight.
Yeah.
Feel the difference?
Yeah.
Okay, now get out of your tuck, release the hips. Slowly roll back. Think of your core getting long, hips reaching back as you roll out of your stretch. Good, do it again. When you roll forward this time, try not to tuck your tailbone under. Try to keep hips long, staying a little heavy on the head. Keep lengthening your core as you roll forward. Shoulders stay lifted. And then roll back. Good. Better?
No, really not. Maybe I could use one of those pads.
Yeah, the pad in your head or blanket.
I'll do that next time.
Okay.
Oh, look at you.
Rolling.
Thank you.
There you go. Try it with the pad to see what it feels like. Elbows on the mat. Yeah, rolling on the forehead and the head is good. Clears the sinus passages. That pressure through here is a good thing to do.
I actually think I've had a sinus infection.
Oh, well,
So,
that's gonna be
yeah,
a
my,
good
and in
tip.
fact, my eyes are starting to hurt.
Well, you don't need to do it anymore right now. You're done. But
So
yeah.
maybe I'll not do
Maybe you don't need
that.
to do that. But when you do a sinus infection, it helps to break that stuff up, rolling back and
Yeah.
forth on it to stop. So pad it up if you feel the pressure.
I will.
And it's too
Yeah.
much. Alright, blocks in the front of the mat. Let's keep them wide. Step your right foot forward outside the blocks. Turn your toes out to the side. Okay, think those are here. Open that knee wide and then drop your hips forward, keeping the knee and the pelvic bowl open. Bring your weight over to the right a little bit as you drop into that. So you're trying to keep space in here. Okay? Push through the foot a little bit to bring that sitting bone back. Shoulders back, elbows hug in. Think of dragging the shoulders back to help bring ribs forward. Keep your ribs up a little bit in your body when you do this. And then drop into the stretch like you're leaning past the blocks a little bit. Good. Push into the foot to bring the hip back. And then ribs come back forward again, come back into the stretch. So what you want to start to feel is the pressure from the foot is dropping the pelvic bowl back as your ribs reach forward. So you want to feel opposition through there. The ribs coming forward comes from elbows hugging in, shoulders pulling back, opening ribs forward as your foot keeps pinning the hip back. You're starting to feel that a little bit more. Push into the foot to bring sitting bones back. You don't have to straighten the leg. Pull shoulders back, ribs forward, and come all the way back into your stretch. Good. You're starting to feel that. Boundary of the foot. Lift and spread the toes. Keep the ball of the foot on the mat. Bring the toes down one at a time. Really grabbing the mat. Now use your foot as you push the hip back. Come forward. Open the knee. Come forward and right. Opening that knee more. Good. Keep the back toes tucked. Reach through the back heel. Should be easy to pop the knee up if your weight is forward. And then push into the front leg to bring it back. Good. Turn your toes in now so they're more parallel to the mat. Really activate the foot though. Lift and spread the toes. And then bring them down, grabbing the mat. All the toes really grabbing the mat. Roll your left hip forward. Think of inner spiral in the left groin, but outer spiral in the right. So the right hip wraps back. Okay? Push into the right foot. Lift your right low belly to lift up out of the right hip to roll left hip back. And then roll it back forward again. Good. 2 more. Lift the right low belly. Roll that left hip back. Drop your chest into your shoulder girdle. Don't let it hold. And then roll it back forward. Good. Do it again. Push into the right foot. Suck your right low belly back as you roll back. Roll it back forward. Stay forward. Lift your low belly. Pick your ribs up into the shoulder girdle to help make space here. Then roll back, keeping ribs picked up. Once you're back there, then drop chest down. Drop pelvic bowl back down again. Good. Then pick ribs up. Pick pelvic bowl up. Suck your low belly up right here. Roll your left hip forward, right hip pulling back from the low belly. Then drop the chest back down, lengthen the spine again. Good. Feeling that in here. Lift ribs up to help. Spread shoulder blades. Suck your low belly up on the right side. Open the right hip, pushing into the right foot. Then drop ribs back down. Pelvic bowl drops too. Now see if you can keep ribs in pelvic bowl drop. Roll the left hip forward, staying in the stretch. Roll it back, just staying in the stretch. Good. Roll it forward. Keep that right hip rolled under you as you roll back. Good. Roll forward, stay there. Bring the right arm up into the twist, open chest. Good. Try to keep both legs pretty straight for this part. Bring your right arm overhead, lift your ribs up. Your left shoulder blade comes down to help pick the ribs up, reach overhead. Right hip hugging back, and then right arm goes back. Drop your heel down, left shoulder can come forward. Good. Push into the toes, bring it up, keep ribs in the body. Reach through that bottom side, you really can try. And then drop back down. Reach through the heel. Good, last one. Push into toes, pick your ribs up. Open it up, drop the right hip back, left hip forward, and then reach it back. Good, square your right shoulder down, left hip coming back. Push high into the toes. Bend the front knee, see if you can come up down without that arm. Really use that foot to support your weight, and bring it back up. Good job, guys. Good, move the blocks for a minute, hands to the mat. Turn your hands out sideways so that your thumbs are parallel to each other. Your foot's going to be pretty much in line with the hands, and it's going to turn out sideways. Yep, 45 degrees. You can use blocks to pad it up. Turn your hands out a little further. So your thumbs.
Oh, this way.
Thumbs
Oh,
are
they're parallel
parallel to
to
each
each
other.
other. Okay.
Yeah, thumbs are parallel lines. Really open the hands. You're not turned out too far. You're going to work that thumb open, but they want to be parallel to each other. Okay? And as wide as your mat. The heel is going to be turned out, or the heel's going to be turned in, toes out. Kind of makes a parallel shape there. And then I want you to think chaturanga. Elbows bend, hug, actually first, before you do that, inner spiral of the arms. So biceps roll in toward each other. Push down through hands, pick ribs up to the chest. And then drop the shoulders back, drop the chest back down. Do it again. Pick it up, inner spiral arms. Drop it back down. Last one, pick it up. Good. Now, drop back down, hug elbows in toward each other. Bend the elbows, drop the chest as low as you can inside the leg. Pick it back up, push through the leg and the arm. Straighten the leg more. Do that same thing again. Bend elbows, bend knee, drop chest down toward the mat. Pick it back up. Good. Last one, bend elbows, bend knee, drop it down. Pick it right back up again. Good. This time you're going to come down, come all the way down to back knee, come all the way down to elbows, or whatever you can reach. Maybe you can only get one elbow down. Good. Nice. Okay. Tip your hips over to the right. So you're going to try to drop the right knee open further. Lift your right toes, but keep inner foot, ball of the foot on the mat. Good. And then reach your right arm forward and across to the left. You're trying to open that right side up and bring it back. Good. Hands to the mat. Bring the hips back. Slide the front foot back. So it's behind the hands. Hip the ribs up out of the shoulder girdle and toe heel the foot across. All the way across the mat. Point the toes last so the top of the foot's going to be on the mat. Come forward, put the knee down. Good. Push into the back leg to find plank on that left side. So right there, point the toes. Get the toes pointed. There, you gotta get that foot under. That's better. Yeah. Feel the difference?
Yeah.
That was tough. Tuck your back toes, then plank on the left side. Good. Push down through hands. Let's take that same hand position with thumbs parallel for now. Inner spiral. Pick your ribs up higher. That's it. Suck your low belly up. Push into the right knee a little to help get the pelvic bowl up. Feel that hip work. Then go back the other way. Think cat-cow. Pubic bone back, ribs drop, belly drop. Sit back now a little in your stretch. Do it again. Come forward. Inner spiral, arms. Pick ribs up. Suck the belly up. Push into the knee. Good. Then drop it back. Pubic bone goes back. Ribs drop. Sit back into your stretch a little deeper. Okay, one more time. Come forward. Pick the ribs up. Pick the low belly up. Now, this time, left hip hugs in and under you. So the groin muscles together. Then bring it back like that. And bring it all the way back. I'm not sure all this. Good. So pigeon. If this is too much, stay up high. Or you can come down on elbows on blocks. Or you can put a bolster sideways under your hips. How are we doing? Okay. Chilling. Chilling, right? Good. All right. Put your elbows right in front of the knee. Let's see if you can bring the knee back enough so the foot's parallel. And then sit off onto the right hip. Kind of killing the stretch. Okay? Pick your ribs up by pushing down through elbows. Suck the belly back. Push into the knee. Point the right toes. Then bring your ribs across to the left. Keep them as far behind the shin as you can. Then bring them back forward again. Good. Do it again. Bring ribs over to the right. Suck them up and back. Inhale. Exhale. Bring ribs left. Across. Keeping it behind the shin. And then forward
Oops,
again.
I think I moved the thing.
Oh, that's okay. Do it again. I gotta pick the ribs up. Bring them across.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I think it's actually didn't even move. You're good. No worries. Okay, and bring it back, forward and down. Last one, taking over to the right, pick the ribs up. Bring it across to the left, forward and down. Good. Stay here with the knee back like that. Bring your right hand right in front of the right knee, and think of twisting to face right. Suck the ribs up, pull down with your left shoulder, push with the right hand, roll toward right hip, and try to lift up on the right side, and then drop back to the left hip. Do it again, lift up on that right side, and drop back left. Inhale, pick it up. Exhale, left hip toward the mat. Good, if you want to go for more, you can bend the back knee and pull the foot into you. Not going to happen, good, let it go. All right, hands come to the mat. Tuck your back toes. Walk the knee forward, retuck in a short plank. Push into the hands, pick your ribs up, suck the belly up, step back. Heel dropping, slowly put weight into that right place. Just pedal it out. How are we doing? Good? Good. Roll down over the knees. Keep the toes tucked, sit back on the heels. Let's drop down to the floor. Just take 1 or 2 breaths in child's pose, arms back. You can either have toes tucked or drop to the top of the feet, or you can do the wide knees child's pose if you'd rather. Find your breath here. Inhale. Exhale. And get ready for second side. 1 more breath. Inhale. And exhale. Low belly in, soften whatever's holding you tight. And let's move on to the second side. Come on forward, grab your blocks, top of the mat. Left foot's going to step forward outside your blocks. Blocks are about as wide as the mat. And that hand position we've been using, where your thumbs are parallel, that's good for you to think of on the blocks. Okay, your thumb knuckle, all three knuckles of the thumb are on the inside line of the block with the hand turned out. So it's pretty much the same as what we were doing on the mat a minute ago. Okay, try to lengthen out the fingers. That gets all the muscles in the hand, the meaty part of the hand on your block, right? Pay attention to that. And you're going to drop the hips forward into your stretch. Keep the left knee wide. Keep space in the groin and the left low belly, left hip flexors. Keep dropping your right hip forward. Good. So if you can't feel the right hip release with the right side, go back to that original thing we used to do. Put the block under the shoulder and just hang out. Let gravity push the shoulder up, let the ribs drop, let the hip hang. You should have that feeling in your psoas the whole time, right? Then open the left knee away. Use your foot to help open that hip and left. Okay, square your blocks back off. All right. Elbows hug in a little bit. Push through your left foot to bring your sitting bones back. So as opposed to pulling with the back, right? Push through the foot. That foot is going to help pin the knee and the hip to pelvic roll back. Elbows hug in. Pull back with the serratus to bring ribs forward. Come back down into your stretch. Feel a lot of weight come into that left foot. This is a weight-bearing stretch. You're trying to put your weight over the foot. So knee gets pinned back, hip gets pinned back, and the weight helps you stretch. Push into the foot to bring the hips back. Shoulders pull back, ribs lengthen forward. Come back into your stretch. Good. One more time, push into the foot. It should help you bring the hips back. Shoulders back, ribs are open and forward. Drop it down. Good. Tuck your back toes. Push into the back leg. Pull your weights in the front three prongs here. You shouldn't have a lot of weight there. Push through the front foot, bring the hips up and down. Turn your toes in now. So they're either parallel to the side of the mat or maybe turned out 10 degrees, but not as much as they were. Staying high in the back toes. Don't let the back foot twist around when we do the rolling through the hips. Keep the foot where it is. Roll the right hip forward. Think of your right leg as inner spiraling as your left leg outer spirals. Hug your left low belly back. Push into the left foot. Lift out of your left hip with the low belly. Roll the right hip open. And then roll back forward. Drop that right hip forward. Good. Do it again. Push into the left foot. Lift with left low belly. Roll it open. And then drop the right hip back forward. Notice the hands. Are you losing hands? Keep the thumb knuckles pressed down. Pick ribs up. Roll the right hip back. Pushing the left foot. Roll it back forward again. Legs stay pretty straight here. Do it again. Keep that back heel high. Roll it open. Roll right hip back forward. Think of right leg, right frontal hip come to the left groin. Stay left. Don't lean right. One more like that. Roll it open. Good. And then roll it back forward. Turn your left toes out a little bit. See if you can drop back down into your stretch. Elbows hugging in. Drop the right hip toward the mat. Think of frontal hip coming in back. Every now and then pull right hip back so you can drop into the left groin more. Bring it back up. Good. Okay, turn the toes back in. This time we're going to pick the ribs up out of the shoulder girdle. Suck your low belly up and back. And then roll your hip open. Good. Now let the ribs drop back down. Pelvic bowl follows. Good. Now pick it back up. Low belly in. Roll the hip forward. So you came out of the stretch a little. Now drop back into the stretch. Do it again. Ribs up. Low belly up. Roll open. As the ribs drop, it helps bring the pelvic bowl down too, since the spine is attached to the back of the ribs. And into the pelvic bowl. Now roll through that, keeping ribs low. See if you can roll back and forth, staying deep in the stretch the whole time without that lift in between. Good. How are you? End with your right hip forward. Bring your left arm up, opening up the chest. Really dropping right hip forward, hug left hip back. Bring the arm overhead, bottom shoulder blade comes down to help pick your ribs up. And then bring the arm back, heel dropping. The bottom shoulder can come forward a little. Let the side hang open. Bring the arm up, push through the back toes. Left hip hugging back. And then bring it back down. Two more like that. Push up, suck your ribs into the body. And then bring it back down. Good. Now roll your left shoulder forward. Try to square it up. See if you can bend the left knee. Keep all the weight in that foot and drop down without that hand. Good job. Bring it back up. Good. Hip blocks under your shoulders. I'm losing my stance here a little. Turn your left toes out. Bend slowly. Put the back knee down soft. Good. Move the blocks out of the way. Hands to the mat. Again, we're going to turn the hands out a little extra, a little more than we normally do. So your thumbs are parallel, hands wide. Good. It does lessen the pressure in the wrist to do that because it's not as big an angle. That's a bigger angle when you turn it out. You lessen that flexion a little bit. Okay, pick your ribs up into the shoulder girdle. Let's come off the back knee if we can. Back knee in the air. Good. And then drop the chest back down. Do it again. Push into the thumb side of the hand. Pick the ribs up. Inner spiral arms. Pick the ribs up higher. Drop the chest back down. One more. Pick it up. Suck the low belly in. Good. Now elbows hug in. Drop the chest. Drop into that stretch all the way down. Shoulders are open. Push into the hands. Push into the foot to bring the hip back. Okay. One more like that. So you can come all the way down. Think chaturanga. Drop down. Elbows bend. Drop into your stretch. And bring it up. So we're done with that one. All right. Go ahead and put your back knee down. Step the foot back. Take break. Sit all the way back. Either with knees touching and head drop to the ground or knees wide. Toes can be tucked or flat. Take a couple breaths here. One more long, soft breath. And bring it back up. Alright, let's go ahead and grab your blocks, bring them to the mat, flatten them out, line them up even with each other. Do a little bit of shoulder stretching, a little bit of twisting. Alright, turn around, have a seat. All 5 fingers facing forward on your blocks. Oh, we skipped one. We skipped the pigeon. No. Come back. You guys can't be done yet. Sorry. We have one more to do. Left foot is forward. Come back to me. You used your blue blocks for this one.
Yeah, with the elbows.
Yep. Sorry guys. How could I skip that one? You guys are all done, so I tried to kill that part of the sequence. Alright, so lift your ribs up out of the shoulder girdle, suck the ribs and low belly back, and then slide your foot back behind the hand. So when you're looking at it, you should have space between the heel of the hand and the foot. So that means you have room to toe heel across. Keep the ribs lifted, that's what makes that space. Toe heel the foot across, really use the foot. It should only take 2 or 3. On your last one, point your toe. Think of putting the top of the and back of the foot onto the mat. Then come forward to bring the knee down. Tuck your back toes, plank the right side. This foot, the left foot that's in the stretching leg, think of pointing the toes to keep heel forward and ankle straight. Then open your toes like you're reaching the ball of the foot. Open the toes into the mat. Once you've got that grip on the mat, you can hop the knee back a little further if you want to. Good. Now reach through the heel. Hands are going to help push the mat forward to try to push you back behind the line of the shin here. Hands are still turned out. Push into the back toes, come forward. Push into your left knee a little. Inner spiral arms to help engage chest. Pick your ribs up high. Suck your low belly up. Good. And then pubic bone back, ribs drop, and sit back into the stretch. Do it again. Shift weight forward. Ribs up, low belly up. And then drop it back. Pubic bone back, hips back. Good. One more time. Come forward. Ribs up, low belly up. Pubic bone back, hips back. Drop as far back into your stretch as you can. Come down onto the tops of the toes. Come down to your elbows. Good. How we doing? Good. Once elbows are down, you can hop that knee a little further back if you want. Keep trying to think about rolling your right groin in. Top of the right thigh down to the mat. Top of the foot into the mat. For a minute, let's think suck groin muscles in to the midline, toward each other. That'll lift you up a little. Suck your ribs and low belly up. Good. And then drop the right hip down, bring your ribs back. Good. One more time like that. Groin muscles hug in. Suck your low belly up, push your elbows, pick your ribs up. And then drop it back down. Good. Okay, roll onto your left hip, so out of the stretch a little bit. Okay, elbows right in front of the knee. Pick your ribs up, pushing through elbows. You can work that right leg a little further back if you've got that. And then pull your ribs across to the right. Left elbow can pin left knee back. And then ribs go forward again. Right hip rolling to the mat. Let's do it again. Bring it over to the left. Pick ribs up, inhale. Exhale, bring ribs right, and then forward and down. Last one. Bring it left, pick the ribs up, inhale. Reach through the ball of the right, left foot. Bring your ribs across to the right, and forward and down. Left elbow pinning the left shin back. Good. Bring your left hand to the mat right in front of the left knee. So the hand is planted right in front of the knee. Up. Right elbow stays on the mat. Okay, so push in. That's okay. Push into your left hand. Pick your ribs up, twisting. Right shoulder comes down to help lift this side. And the left hip goes to the mat a little. Inhale. As you exhale, right hip back to the mat, ribs forward and down. Good. Push through elbow, ribs go up and left. Inhale. Exhale, right hip, right ribs forward and down. Last one, pick it up, inhale. Exhale, groin muscles hug in, low belly long as you come forward and down. This is where if you wanted to, you could pull up. Don't take your, let it go. Bring the hands down. Tuck the toes, walk it forward. Retuck, push into plank on that side. Lift your ribs up by pushing into hands. You can do this with the inner spiral if it helps you find your core, or you can use your outer spiral. Step the foot back, and then slowly pedal out the feet. Just put weight back into that hip slowly. Good. Very nice. All right, come down onto the knees. One more before we go into shoulders. Elbows to the mat. Bring your ribs up and back. Walk the knees a little bit longer than you normally would have them. And then instead of tucking, let the sitting bones release, glutes release, hips reach back. Tuck your toes, push into the feet, bring the hips up. Think of pushing into elbows to slide the shoulder blades off the back, ribs further back. Left heel comes toward the mat, right leg up and back. Then open up your hips. Lift the leg, drop the ribs, bring it back down. Other side, right heel dropping, left leg up and back. Open up your hip, think of dropping ribs down, tip the leg forward, and bring it back down. Good job, both knees come in, and then roll it up, good. Go ahead and take knees wide, toes toward each other, and just sit back into a wide leg child's pose for a minute. Breathe. Lift the head up. Walk it back. Keep the knees as wide on the mat as you can as you sit up. So think about being in the splits, but in hero's pose at the same time. Your hips have to be able to sit on the mat. We're going to do shoulders here, then we'll do the more traditional shoulders. Yeah, if your hips can't touch the mat, use a block for under the sitting bones. Okay? And then if you're sitting on a block, you're going to need a block. So if you're sitting on a block here, you're going to need a block for the hands. So if you're up on a block, we're going to use a block for the right hand. If you're not on a block and you're sitting on the floor, then you're just going to use the floor. Whatever height you raise the floor to under your hips, that's the height you raise the floor to under your hand, in other words. So keep knees wide. Keep feet a little bit away from you. And then hands rest on the thighs. Bring the shoulders forward a little like you're leaning forward. Suck your low belly back. Slouch in your low back. Shoulders roll forward. Keep the low belly sucked back. Think of curling your toes up off the mat just with the feet. Don't actually do it. And then let the toes go. Open toes. Now you're going to roll hips forward. Keep the low belly engaged as you roll the hips forward. Good. Then roll back. Toes curl up. Low belly sucking back. Release your back. Let yourself slouch. Soften the chest. Open toes into the mat. Keep low belly lifted as you roll forward. Do it again. It's not about how far forward you can go. It's about the low belly. Can you keep it engaged as you roll back? Soften your ribs. Toes curl up like they're coming in to your low belly. Roll back forward. Keep the low belly. Toes opening into the mat. Heels into you. Last one. Roll back. It feels like your sitting bones are pushing the mat under. Sock the belly back. That's it. Open toes into the mat. Keep low belly. Roll forward. Sitting bones should feel like you slide the mat back a little. Good. Now lift your hips up. Bring your sitting bones under further. So actually lift up your hips and bring your tailbone under you more. Good, then bring your right hand back, fingers facing forward. Okay, bring your left arm, just let it slouch and just hang across the body. Roll your right shoulder head forward, but your elbow reaches back and wide. Good. Think of squaring your shoulders forward. Let this hand back here take weight so your ribs open. You can't let the back be stuck. You have to let this hang. Good. Shoulder head forward. Roll your shoulder blade back. Lots of pressure in the hand. Top of the head reaches for the ground. Suck your middle abs back. And then roll the shoulder back forward again. Trust the hand. Keep the ribs open. Do it again. Roll the shoulder back. Elbow in. Top of the head forward. Suck your middle abs back. Roll it forward. This time see if you can curl the toes up. Do it again. Roll the shoulder head back. Feel that, the serratus. Feel the shoulder blade slide around ribs. Top of the head forward and in. Suck your middle abs back. And then roll it back forward. Take your right hand back behind you. Try to even them up. Just look at the mirrors on the ceiling. Shoulder heads roll forward. Suck the belly back. Think of hugging knees in toward each other. Yeah, you don't have a second block. Grab a second block for the hands. Good. Think of sucking the knees in. They might even want to lift if you really let that low belly pull back. Okay? Not this though, that's the point. Roll shoulders forward and roll them back. Roll forward, roll back. One more, roll forward, suck the belly in. Keep your middle abs sucked in, push through your hands. Try to bring your ribs a little bit to the right. And then bring it back. Middle abs open, move. Good, now bring your right arm across. Left hand should already be in place. Good. Roll the shoulder head back, top of the head in. Little bit of middle ab sucking back. Your right elbow can even open to open the serratus or open the lats and the shoulder blades more. Roll it back forward again. Keep the ribs open on that left side. Trust your left hand. Roll the shoulder head back. Shoulder blade coming into the ribs. Top of the head forward. Ribs in. And then roll it back forward. Two more. Roll the shoulder back. Elbow pulls in toward you. Top of the head forward. And then roll it back forward. Last one. Roll the shoulder back. Top of the head forward. Ribs sucking in. And then roll it back forward. Take your other hand back. Fingers face forward. Push into the hands all the way to fingers. Turn the hands around. Fingers facing back. How we doing? Good. Okay. Keep the hips under you more. Shoulder heads forward, bend elbows back. If your elbows are going to pass your hands need to go further back. Okay, now see if you can keep shoulder heads forward, low belly sucking in. Can you hug knees in and let them lift a little? Low belly, low belly, low belly. Good, and then release. Do that again. Hug knees in, suck your low belly back. Good, and then let it go. Good. Now keep the low belly sucked back, shoulders rolled forward, bring ribs to the right. Reach through the right knee, and then bring it back. The ribs go left, reach through the left knee, and bring it back. Good. Push into the arms to straighten. Roll shoulders back, roll up on sitting bones, and then roll shoulders forward, low belly back, bend your elbows back. Good. And then walk it up. How are we doing? Nobody's dying, nothing's falling off. Yep. Sitting bones back and apart. Okay. Good. And then you're going to bring elbows to the mat. Try to keep your sitting bones back and apart. If you're on a block, you won't block for elbows. Okay? Your elbows are going to be out in front. I want you to pull back with your elbow. Don't dip into your back too much for your keep ribs engaged a little bit. Okay? So if you know you go into your back, don't dip too hard there into the back. Keep ribs open. So we're going to pull back with the lats and the serratus to bring shoulders back, ribs come forward. It'll almost feel like the hips are going to lift. And then knees open. Feel that stretch in front of the hips. Toes open into the mat. Good. And then push forward on the mat. Drop your head round. Suck your low belly up and back. Knees hugging. And roll it back. Good. Let's bring the right leg out of that stretch. And stretch. Good. A lot of stretch in the knee, so don't straighten it right away. Let's clamp the hand in on the knee like this. Fingers fold over. And then lift your toes up, spread them out. Turn your foot right. And back to the middle, curl toes under. Try to put that pinky side of the foot into the mat. Pick the toes up, spread them out, turn it out. Try to put index toe down. Good, and bring it back. We're basically just entertaining you while your knee releases and your foot moves. Okay, good. Go ahead and see if you can bring that leg out to the side now, turning the foot out. Point the toes, hold, and good. Sit up. See if you can come into the splits with both legs, sitting bones back and apart. Come as far forward as you can reach. Let this leg roll forward for now. Okay? Turn your hands sideways the way we, or turn your hands out a little bit the way we did earlier. Bend elbows toward the mat, they don't have to touch. Hug in, pull back on the mat with hands to try to roll you to the front of the sitting bones. Good? Then push into the mat, ribs come back in your shoulder girdle round. Do it again. Elbows hug in. Pull back on the mat, roll to the front of the sitting bones. You can come down to elbows, you can come down. Good. Big stretch in the hips. Roll it back up, top of the foot. Yeah, it's getting the stretch there. Alright, let's go toward the straight leg for a minute. Let your other sitting bone lift off the ground. You can let the foot come further away and release that stretch a little bit. Bring your right hand to the mat next to the right knee. Bring your left hand across to the outer right foot if you can reach, or the leg, wherever you can reach. You're going to push into the right hand to lift right ribs and twist toward the right. There you go. Suck your low belly up on the right side. Pull with your left elbow a little, left shoulder blade spreading off the back. And bring it back. Good. Okay, let's bring the left leg out of it. Put some pressure into the knee. clamp down on it. Good. Lift the toes up. Pick the foot up. I'll put this leg back into it. You can do that in a minute. Lift the toes up. Turn the foot out. Put the big toe down. Take it back up. Turn the foot in. Curl your toes under. Try to get pinky side of the foot into the mat. Okay. Pick it back up. Open the toes. Turn it out. Just normalize the knee. Put the big toe down. Pick it back up. Turn it in. Curl toes under. Put pinky side of the foot down. Good. Bring your right foot back into that leg, the stretch, and bring your left leg open. So basically have a halfway hero pose, and you're trying to make a 180-degree pose with the legs. Okay. Hands out in front. Come onto the front of the sitting bones. That was a little move I made. I'm kind of pulling the sitting bones back and apart. Good. Elbows hug in, or you can touch almost to the ground. Don't touch. You can pull back on the mat physically with your elbows if your elbows will touch. If not, hug in with the elbows. Pull the shoulders back to drag you forward on your sitting bones. Drag your pelvic bowl forward, rears forward. And then push into the hands. Suck your ribs back, suck your low belly back, drop your head. Go the other way. Elbows hug in. Pull back on the mat with hands. Pull back with the left, with the radius. And then push into the hands. Roll and back, drop the head. Good. And then come to neutral. Come over to the straight leg. You can let the right sitting bone lift up a little bit. You can take that foot further away if you're pretty much getting over that stretch. Bring your left hand next to the knee, right hand to the outer foot. Push into the left hand, twist. Really think of sucking the middle abs up as you twist. Keep a little round in your spine, in other words, to twist. Keeping the pressure in the left hand, picking up the left ribs. The right elbow can bend. There's lats attached into the low back and then right into the upper arm here. So if you keep this sucked up while you reach the shoulder blade forward, elbow forward, you'll get a bigger stretch in that side. Breathe. And bring it back up. And then bring that. Another stretch. Say it again. You like that one? You feel that? Yeah. Good. Let's bring both legs open. Too many toys hanging around here. Good. Alright, and you can come off your block or behind your block, whatever you want to do. See if you can come to your widest 180-degree pose. So I think the easiest way to do it, if you're open enough, is put your hands in front of the legs, shift your weight forward, bring your sitting bones back. If you're not, it may be that you put your hand behind you, lift up, and kind of push yourself forward into the stretch, whatever gets you there. Okay, then we're going to try to roll through the hips. Low belly in, roll sitting bones under. Good, and then see if you can roll forward at all. Right, that really increases the stretch. Low belly in, roll sitting bones under. And then see if you can roll forward. Good. Wherever you're at, come into your deepest stretch. Keep it going back, sitting bones back. Good. And just be there. Inhale. Exhale, let that head and neck drop, especially if your pelvic bowl is still back here. And you're going to work on opening the back a little. Let the head drop, let the shoulders run forward. Suck your low belly up to support it. Once you feel that, try to pull back on the mat to bring your body a little longer into your stretch. Okay, wherever you're at, just try to find some room in the core. Hey, peanut gallery. Guys. Shh. Alright. And then roll it back up. Let's bring your right elbow to the inside of the right knee. If you can't touch the ground, put a block under the elbow. Push back into that, or if you're holding a block, pull the block into the leg. Bring the other arm over your head. You're trying to roll your left side open. Good. If this is easy, you can slide the bottom arm forward, reach for the foot, and then pin the shoulder inside the knee to roll it over again. Nothing? Alright, and keep elbow pinned against knee, and just keep trying to roll the chest open. Good, leaning back. That's it. Yeah, you got it. You can hold any part of the leg. Yeah, it's anything that gives you the leverage to use this elbow to push and roll that side open. Yeah, feel that? There you go. You're getting those ribs open more. Good. Let's go to the other side. Elbow pins the knee back, or if it's a block, pull back on your block. And then roll this side open. Let's start with the arm near you. Just pull the shoulder back, opening up this side. Good. Right? Once you feel this side really opening, then you can bring your arm overhead. Add some weight to that. Okay. If you want more, add some weight. You can get rid of your stuff. Slide the arm forward and reach for the foot or the leg, whatever you can reach. And then use that as leverage to roll that side open. Your bottom hand pushing into the mat. Reach through toes. Slide it up both sides. Good. Bring it back up. So that should open up the side more. Bring the legs into Baddha. How are we doing? Soles and the feet together, getting to the end. I heard a hip hop over there.
Yeah. Cracking up the heel a lot.
Alright, let's keep about, 2 feet between the feet and the pubis, between the feet and where you're sitting. Open your sitting bones apart. Put a little bit of pressure into your ankles. Just a little bit, not a lot, like you're kind of leaning into that. And then opening the toes, keep the ball of the foot touching and the heels touching. Good. Alright, and I want to first play with walking your sitting bones. We've done this before. You're going to think about lifting your right sitting bone up a little. Push your right foot forward, suck your lower belly back, put it back down. Left side, push the left foot forward, left lower belly pulls back. Walk your sitting bones back maybe 4 times to separate the hips. And then walk them back forward again, maybe just 4 steps. Just try to make sure hips will operate separately. Walk right sitting bone back, put it in the mat. Left low belly, left foot reaches forward, left sitting bone comes back. Right low belly pulls back, right foot pushing forward. And then walk it back forward. Okay. Once you feel like you've got a little space in your hips, stop where you started. Bring your elbows to the front of the shin. Open toes, balls of the feet touch, heels touch, and inner foot is trying to roll into each other a little bit from the feet. That should help you activate your low belly and separate low belly from the front of the hips. Suck your low belly back, then pull back on your elbows or pull back on your shins with your elbows, then come forward into your stretch a little deeper. You can let the head drop, shoulders drop. Good. Okay, let's do that sequence again in the core. Inhale. Feet push the mat forward a little. Suck your low belly back as you exhale. Inner feet touching with toes open. Then once you've got some space in the hips, pull back with lats serratus. Pull back on elbows and drag it forward further. Good. So first, you're pushing the mat forward with the feet, sucking low belly back to make some space here. Then, keeping feet active, you're pulling back with the serratus, pulling back with the muscles under the shoulder blades to come forward. Getting more length. That's it. Getting deep.
Yeah, this is the first time I've been able to get my elbows in front of my shins.
Okay. Now, one more thing here. Stay down there, but not in your most unbelievable killer stretch. Think of your right foot pushing the mat forward. Suck your right low belly back like you're going to walk the right sitting bone back, but you don't actually pick it up. That should open the back of the right hip more.
Yes.
Okay?
Yeah.
Then release it. Do the other side. Left foot feels like it's scooting the mat forward. Left low belly is sucking back. Right hip feels like it's sliding forward. Again, sitting bones are stuck, so they are trying to kind of move on the mat, but they're stuck. And then let that go. Okay, one more time. Inhale. Toes open, low belly sucks back, both feet pushing forward to open across the whole low back. Then pull with the serratus, drag your ribs forward, keep them a little engaged, get longer. Good. If you want to just release everything, you can either put the chin in the ball of the feet, whatever you've got, forehead there, or you can just reach the arms forward. And then roll it back up. I don't know what that is. Some kind of animal on the roof. It's happened before during private. I know, isn't it crazy? Sounds like it's like
It's a woodpecker.
What is it?
It was a I thought
It's
it
a
was
woodpecker?
Yeah.
We've heard it before.
It actually,
Freaked out.
sounds like a gecko. You know,
Oh,
a
wow.
gecko, one of those. Yeah, when they do their
neck?
their thing
It's
in and
so
out.
loud. It's in here. I know, it's crazy.
I thought it was your timer.
Yeah, it's not like a
Let's try.
something.
Alright, let's do shoulders even though we already did it a little bit. Blocks behind you. Make sure they're lined up, or you can use the mirrors to line up. I like to line them up before I turn around and you don't have to be confused by the mirrors. Okay, fingers facing forward on your blocks to start. Do a little twisting here. Push into the hands. Feet flat, bring your hips to your heels. So tailbone under you more. Okay, so if you're sitting up real tall, you feel the tailbone that you can kind of roll around on. Then if you sit all the way forward, you can feel the sitting bones, right? So I want you to be real conscious of where those are. You're going to push into your hands and really get the tailbone under you. So you can't feel your sitting bone at all. You're actually on the back of the pelvis, really. And then feet forward. Okay? Alright, push into your hands, roll your shoulders forward. Shoulders should be in front of the hands at all times. So your hips can come a little more forward if you've got the stretch in your shoulders. Yeah. Bring your hips further forward is going to increase the shoulder stretch. But if you don't have the right alignment, this doesn't work. You gotta be at least, right? You're good. Barely good though. shoulders really roll forward.
I know, but my shoulders are so
So
tight.
tight still,
I
yeah.
couldn't go any further forward.
And then, I know, then the shoulders.
And didn't do anything.
Right, right. If you can't move, that doesn't work either.
No.
Okay, so shoulder heads have to roll forward, chin in a little bit. Don't sink into the neck, keep pushing down in your hands. Okay, keep the elbows wide, think of screwing in toward the thumb side of the hand to widen the shoulder blades, elbows wide. Collarbone rolls forward, low belly sucking back a little. Now use your feet a little, lift toes, spread the toes. Roll to the inner foot, and then bring the toes back down. Just keep feet active. I want you to feel like you're pulling back on the mat a little to roll forward on the tailbone. And then push the mat away, touch low belly sucking to roll back. Good, real soft with this. Just make sure hips are loose and free, and roll back. One more time. And then roll it back. Good. Keep it like that. Notice how dropping pelvic roll back helps round your ribs further back, shoulders forward. Push into the hands to come up. Arms go straight. If you really roll shoulders forward, it's going to be a deep wrist stretch. Hand will lift. Then roll all the way to the sitting bone. Try to come all the way forward. Then roll shoulders back, lifting ribs. Middle abs suck up. Then roll shoulders forward. Hips roll back. Then elbows. Feel like your hands are pulling blocks forward. Pull your ribs back. Stay rounded. You can push. One more like that. Push into hands. At the top, slide the head, top the head forward. Roll onto the sitting bones. Roll the shoulders back. Open the chest. Roll the shoulders forward, hips back, and the elbows back. Good. Okay, bring your ribs over to the right. Think of your middle abs as helping. Bring the ribs right. Left hand pushing a little. Right shoulder forward, right elbow real wide. Then your knees go left. So you're twisting a little bit, right? Then your left ankle can cross halfway down the right shin and pull a little further across. Think of your right hip coming to your right heel. Left hand pushing, bringing ribs further back. Uncross the leg, bring it back up. Good. Low belly in, bring your ribs over to the left. Okay, think of a typewriter, like the floating ribs and hips are a typewriter. Taking the ribs across, knees go right, lift the outer feet. Cross your right ankle over the left shin and very softly pull across. And think of the left hip going to the heel as you push with right hand to bring ribs away. So you're really trying to separate ribs and hip. Good. Release your glutes. And then uncross the leg to bring it up. Very good. Push into the hands, turn it around. Fingers face backwards. Spread across the fingers. Try to put the pinky on the inside of the block, thumb on the outside. Bend your elbows back. If your elbows pass the hands, it's a pretty deep wrist stretch. Also not in alignment, we'll use for weight bearing. Okay, then bring the feet close to hips. Push into hands. Bring hips further forward. You want to try to have a 90-degree angle in the wrist and a 90-degree angle from upper arm to lower arm. So in the elbows. Roll your shoulders forward. Really roll shoulder heads forward. Now let's just play with that for a minute. Feet further forward. Good. Roll shoulder heads back, and then roll shoulder heads forward, keeping elbows bent. Roll shoulders forward, elbows go wide. Roll shoulders back, elbows come in, top of the head forward, chin in. Roll shoulders forward, head can come back. Do it again. Roll shoulders back, elbows in, top of the head forward, and then roll shoulders forward. Good. Now push into your hands to straighten the arms. Roll all the way to the sitting bones, literally, way to the front. Then roll shoulders back. Outer spiraling arms, ribs lift. Roll shoulder heads forward, hips roll back. Then the elbows back. Feel like you're pulling the back of the ribs toward the blocks. Good. Do it again. Push into the hands to straighten the arms. Roll all the way to the sitting bones. Roll the shoulder blades back. Outer spiral arms. Then maybe you can even bend elbows toward each other here. Middle abs lift. Re-straighten arms if you bend and roll shoulder heads forward, hips roll back, chin in. Bend your elbows back, keep shoulders forward. Take ribs to the right, knees left. If you want to cross left leg over the right, you can. Cross if you did, bring it back. Let's get to the other side. Ribs go left, push with that right hand, knees go right. And cross the leg over if you want. And bring it back to the leg. Re-straighten the arms, walk your hands to the mat. Tuck the fingers under. Make the wrists straight and long. Come out to the side. Don't tuck your fingers all the way in so that you stab your palms with your nails, right? Keep them long. And the fists flat. Good. Hands face you. Palms face you. Yes. Good. Roll your shoulders forward. Drop your head and sink your ribs back. Then push through the hands. Try to lengthen out of the neck. Good. A little more weight bearing in the hands. Bring your feet under you. We'll bridge your hips up. Roll shoulders back. Open the chest. Anybody have this one? Nope. All right. Bring it back. All right. Let's move the blocks off the mat.
Yeah, I just had to put my hands in the right place.
Good job, yeah.
I had my hands this way.
Nope, wrist straight. That's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's your wrist stacked and straight. Good. And then, yep, shoulders roll back, ribs open when you're up there, and then roll back in when you come down. Yep, now to come down, shoulders forward, ribs in. Yeah, and there you go. Feel the core as you come down. Nice. All right, let's use your coming out of pose today. Not going to be very long. Put it right up against your lower back, or right up against your, I guess, tailbone, right underneath the floor there. Keep your, we'll use the balls. Keep the balls within reach. Anything that'll get some weight in your hands will work.
Oh, this feels good.
Feels good now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and lay back over your pillow. Your pillow should be the length of the spine. Okay. If you do this at home and you have a foam roller or something, at least put a blanket or a pad. That's a little too hard. Okay, and then lift your hips, bring your tailbone under you more. So a little more of the hips are on the ground. And then let your legs just release. Okay. Turn the hands out, palms face up for a minute. Just let your shoulders drop back and wrap around your pillow. Feel the shoulder blades can wrap into the pillow. Inhale. Exhale long and soft. As you inhale, let your shoulders roll back, ribs open a little bit. As you exhale, roll shoulder heads forward, just touch, ribs dropping, and then let that go. One more breath like this. Inhale, roll shoulders back. Exhale, roll forward. Okay, grab your purple ball. Or you can just, if you don't want the weight, you can just interlace the fingers and make a little gun with the hands. Okay, if you have the ball, thumbs are going to make railroad tracks. They're parallel lines to each other. Reach the thumbs toward the ceiling, whether you're doing the gun or the ball, the thumbs reach to the ceiling. Okay? And then reach the chest, reach your shoulder blades up. You will engage the chest a little bit. Feel your ribs, release your hips. Don't use that at all. And then drop the shoulders back down around your pillow. Do it again. Inhale while their shoulders are down. As you exhale, squeeze the thumbs into your ball a little bit. I'll help you engage chest. Bring it up. Closing ribs down. And then drop the shoulders back down and slide down. One more time. Inhale here. Exhale, draw ribs in a little. Slide the shoulders up. And drop back down. Good. Take your other ball. Put it between the groin, between the legs. Feet about hip width apart, and then roll in on the ball. Now squeeze the crap out of the ball, just inner spiral legs a little bit, and then ball to the foot, reach forward, toes spreading. Now let your pinkies go back out, away from the middle. It's okay. And roll the legs in. You can still face them the right way. Good. Same exercise, other ball in your hands, arms up to the ceiling. Yeah, this thing's durable. That picture's still in the right place. Okay, as you inhale, let your shoulders drop down, ribs open. As you exhale, roll the legs in on the ball, slide the shoulders up, close your hips, feel your core engage. Drop the ball forward, thumb still reaching, chin to your chest, see if you can roll up with that much core engagement. Good job, hold. Inhale, keep rolled in, but spread toes out. Nice. Okay, and then roll it all the way back. Hands come up. Drop shoulders down, let your legs roll out, away from the ball. Release your ball, no more squeezing the ball. As you drop shoulders down, core gets soft, inhale. As you exhale, roll in on your ball, slide the shoulders up, ribs in. Drop the ball forward, keep the thumbs reaching and squeezing the ball. Chin to the chest, roll into yourself, keep coming forward. Keep coming forward, see if you can roll all the way up the side. Nice. Good. And then reach the ball forward, drop your head to roll back, squeeze your low belly back a little bit, roll in on your ball, keep toes open. Low back should touch down first, then the back of the ribs. All the way back, good. Drop your shoulders down, let your legs release, you can drop your hands back. Let the ribs open more, shoulder blades squeeze together on the ball. Your shoulder blades coming under the ribs will send your ribs up a little bit. Inhale. As you exhale, keep shoulder blades squeezing on the ball. Keep the shoulders deep in the joint. Don't lift up out of the joint and drag it up from the muscles underneath. Serratus, the lats. Exhale at the top. Do that one more time. Drop it back. Shoulder blades squeezing on your pillow. Ribs will open. Inhale. Low belly draws, little outer spiral legs. And then inner spiral legs. Don't exhale yet, but feel your low belly a little. Feel your lats and the serratus. Pull the shoulder blades together on your pillow. Drag it up. A little bit of low belly. Don't close ribs. At the top, exhale. Release the legs. Release the shoulders. Get rid of your balls. Get rid of your stuff.
That's the first time I've ever set up.
I know. We saw you. You rolled all the way up.
Really?
Okay, roll to one side. Pull your pranayama pillow out from under you. There's the good seat. And put the pillow under your hips. Don't get rid of it. Okay, same thing we did, I think last Wednesday, but we didn't tape. You want the pillow high enough so that you can drop your tailbone forward off the front of it, like you're sliding down the slope of it, but your tailbone shouldn't actually touch the ground, right? At the same time, if you feel like your feet are pushing forward, you can pull the pelvic bowl off the other half, off the top, okay? For now, we're gonna let the hips drop. Knees drop in. Knees have to be able to rest into each other, touch each other firmly, like they could pass each other if they weren't hitting each other. Okay, so it's not wide feet and knees can barely touch. It's feet on the mat, knees touch. Then walk your heels wider than your toes. Good. Hands come to your pranayama pillow, fingers facing you. You're going to push down on it a little. That pushes your tailbone long, puts your low back long. Roll your shoulder heads forward when you do that. Drop the right knee in and down. Watch your right knee go slide inside the left shin all the way down. Drop that right hip further forward. And then bring it back up. Left knee slides in down the inside of the right shin. Look at this right. And then bring it back up. You feel that stretch in the psoas, the front of the hip. Maybe a little in the back of the hip. Your foot, the knee, right knee dropping down, the right outer foot can lift, inner foot tries to touch the mat. You may bring your right arm up. Reach that right side long as the right knee drops down. Feel some length there. And then slide back up. Switch. Slide left knee in and down. Foot open. Toes really open. Use the mat. Push into the mat. Bring your left arm up. Your ribs can go left a little bit to deepen the stretch. And bring it back up. Good. You guys feeling that through here?
Yeah.
Yep. Good. All right. Drop both knees in toward each other. Heels wide. Push into your pillow a little, suck your low belly in. Good. Release your glutes, let your hips drop down, keep the knees touching. Tailbone coming toward the mat. Lift the toes. Feel your low belly. Push into the feet, bring it back up. Good. One more time. See if you can keep your low belly engaged, not crunch your low back when you drop. You should start to feel the front of the hips release a little more. And then push into the feet to bring it back. Good. One knee comes in at a time. Arms inside the legs, feet up, let your back release, hands underneath the feet, cupping the heels. Or you can do regular happy baby hands on top, just a little less deep. Okay. Let go of your right heel, drop the right leg forward, right arm overhead, pull your pranayama pillow up a little to really let that hip drop off in front of the pillow. Pushing the back of the head a little to reach longer, left heel reaching into the hand, left shoulder head rolls forward to bring your ribs right more. Reach. And bring it back in. Switch, arm under the leg, hand cups the heel, heel pushes up into the hand, toes turn out. Let go of the left leg, drop it forward. Roll your right shoulder head forward. Feel like your elbow's pushing the knee out to roll that shoulder head forward and help bring your ribs across as you reach the left side longer. And bring it back. Good. Okay, bring one foot at a time to the mat. Bring your pillow a touch lower, not much, just maybe an inch. Hold on to the knees, let your hips drop forward, hanging forward. Your tailbone should not touch the mat. All the way to the legs is in your hands, let go, they'll drop. Roll shoulders back, open ribs, inhale. Exhale, roll shoulders forward. Ribs drop down, hips release further. One more, roll it down. And release. That's too high. We'll do one more. Inhale, roll shoulders back, ribs open. Exhale, roll shoulders forward, ribs drop, hips get to release through. And bring it in with the strength of the arms and let it down. Good. And then one foot at a time to the mat. Push your bolster down to the tip of the tailbone, let your low back release. Hold on to the knees separately. Roll back and forth through the hips if you want. Whoever feels good in the low back now. Good. And then push the bolster down to the calves. Or you can have it on if you want for your corpse pose. Palms facing up. Good. Just take a guys want the guided meditation or you just want to breathe and release? Everybody's good? Alright. Doesn't matter. Alright, let's just breathe and release that. Palms face the ceiling, soft chest and shoulders. Let go of any breathing. One thing to check in on, at least release the muscles in the face, eyes roll into the back of the head, the middle of the forehead where the third eye is. Try to go spreading across the bridge of the nose and the brow and across the base of the tongue. And
That's a lizard.
we have the gecko for fourth base.
Yeah, that's a
All
lizard.
right, let's deepen the breath again on that note. Inhale. Hold the air and let it just leak out slowly. Try to feel your sternum fall back down to the mat. Inhale again. This time bring arms up, palms face in. Reach the shoulders up. And then exhale, let your shoulders drop back down and drop the arms back. Let your ribs open a little bit, feel the backs of the shoulders in the mat. Inhale. As you exhale, reach through the heels, open the toes, and then point the toes, squeeze the fists in. When you're done exhaling, roll your legs in, roll toes in, and then inhale, open it back up. Exhale, point toes, close into fists, roll legs in, toes in, and then roll it back out, just release. Good. To come up, you can either bring the arms forward, chin to the chest, stuff your low belly back, and then integrate the body rolling up. Or you can do the more traditional tent knees, roll to one side, stacking hips and ribs, and come up that way. Either way, once you're up, let's just keep the pillow under the knees for a minute, and just lay over it. Let your head drop. Open your knees a little bit so your body kind of fits in there, especially if you've got a really easy forward bend. Hold on to outer feet, lift your back towards you a little bit. Shoulders back, head dropping. Find your breath. And then roll it out. Good. And we'll finish with one up. You can sit on your pillow if it helps keep your spine longer. Okay, find an easy seat. You want to be able to sit upright without any real, anything kind of pulling you back. So if you're tight in the hips, it may be hard for you to sit flat. Yeah. If you feel really easy in the hips, you can do lotus or whatever to get a more secure seat. Good. Getting those open helps. All right, same spiel as always. You're going to inhale, long but soft. Remember, the inhalation is atmospheric pressure pushing air into the lungs. Most of your muscles are cage depressors, so you don't want to flex. You want to stay soft. Let your ribs open. Hold the air in at the top of the breath. Start with an ah sound, releasing the jaw forward. Come to your ooh, releasing facial muscles. Have enough breath for to vibrate through core as you completely empty the lungs. When you're done, all those rib cage depression muscles have pulled the ribs in to push air out. Let that open again and lift your low belly instead at the end of your breath. And then you'll kind of gasp for air. Okay, here we go. Inhale long, soft. And come into prayer in the middle of the forehead or the third eyelid. Drop your head in, big slouch, let your lower back soften. One last time, releasing spine, seal in your practice. Thank you very much for coming. How do we feel? Yay. Good?
A little
I have
bit
one.
back.
I have one question.
Yes.
When I did that roll up,
Yeah.
everything was good except for one point, and this is the replaced hip.
Uh-huh.
That one point in that replaced hip. That's the only reason I have not been able to sit up otherwise.
And it felt like it was.
It was
pulling.
right. It was real tight. You know, like real.
It was helping.
What? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
It
I
was
see. The other one didn't. The other one didn't do
And
that.
it's
But
in your
this
hip
one.
flexor, which they cut through the front.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so when you're coming up,
You don't want to use the hip flexors.
Right.
Like you're flexing the pelvis.
Right.
You want to suck the belly in.
Okay.
So that rolling the groin muscles in can help you find the belly.
Yeah.
But if you're squeezing the ball really hard, you can also
No,
get
no,
your
I
hips.
didn't. Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't squeeze it.
So once the low belly rolls, the low belly pulls in, you can even let the legs release to
Okay.
make sure this is soft.
Okay.
Then the shoulder blades start coming forward, feel serratus, and those pull into each other. The low
Okay.
belly sucks down, and
Okay.
the serratus pull down the sides, and those pull in. See how that pulls back?
Yeah.
That's what brings you up.
Okay.
You stay round until you're up. Then you can roll up
Roll
on
up on the.
Right.
Okay.
it. If the pull comes from the hip flexors,
Uh-huh.
this is trying to happen, see the
Yeah.
difference? That's a lot of weight, because you're leaving all this behind and you're starting from
Try to
there,
pull it forward.
right? So you've gotta think, drop sternum down, let the shoulder blades come forward, roll into yourself. So the
Okay.
pressure is here, then it's the middle back, then it's the low back.
part of it is the spinal flexibility. If you
Okay.
can't round and you're coming up, there's one flat piece that is gonna put more pressure
Yeah.
there.
Okay. Yeah. It was only this. This one didn't. It didn't hurt this one, but this one.
It's good that you were able to roll up.
I know that's
still
the first
going.
time.
That's really good.
Since we've been doing that.
But yeah, if you do it, when you do it again,
Uh-huh.
feel that low belly, and it's the flexibility in the spine that's probably helping you start to roll up now too.
Using the ball is really
Helped.
great.
You get into the low
it's
belly.
Like really soft. It's like soft, even just a little soft.
I like it better than
Yeah,
the block.
I do
Yeah,
too.
good stuff, guys.